Yeah, morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. Bring this down a bit. Yeah, okay, thank you. With Jimi Disu, this is a very happy week for me. Yesterday, my good old buddy, in secondary school, you call yourselves by your surnames, and so he was Oluwale, but we hadn't gone 6 months into Form 5. They gave him a name, Daddy. And since then, we've always called it. Everybody who knows calls him Daddy. In fact, in my phone, it's called Daddy Oluwale. I was trying to say, what is Daddy's first name? I racked my brain and racked my brain and racked my brain, but I couldn't make it out. So it's been only God knows how many years of friendship between Daddy and I, somebody that I respect so much. So happy 70th, Daddy. I'm coming. I'm not in a hurry. You guys go. You guys go ahead, and I wish him all the best to the Oluwale family. Many happy returns. It's funny though. When I was young, I remember my good old uncle A.R.A. Disu. He was about, I think, as I was growing up, when you know that your uncle that will drag you by the hand, he always took me to the cinema, Plaza Cinema. Always took me to the cinema, and so we used to call him Papa Makati, and he was under 60. Was there anybody if we call you Papa Hausa now? You know Vex?
Oh.
You know Vex?
So, Vex.
He was, because I remember when he turned 60. But I don't want anybody to call me Papa. I will be very angry. I'll be upset. I will go in one corner and cry and cry and cry and cry. And I'll come out. Okay, so I brought Osa to the studio today. I didn't tell him what we were going to discuss. What I want to do is I want to have a meeting with Osa for all of you to hear. And this is what it is. I have decided, Osa, that next week, I've been talking to the crowd, all of us here, that I want to examine the various monsters we have created. And there are many monsters that have bred corruption, monsters that have bred sense of entitlement, monsters that have destroyed our culture. The various monsters with various people, 2, 3 every day. Next week there will be no Diabomi next week. Okay, so we'll do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in groups of 3, 3, 3, 3. So we look at the various aspects, and I'll be talking to matured people. Not that I don't think the youth have anything to say, but I want to talk to those who have experienced Nigeria working. And know I can feel for the young people. I'm sorry, you might not. If some of you were born like 85, 86, in the days when corruption was rife, that's not what I want. People who have actually seen Nigeria working, been to school when Nigeria was working. Some of the things that we hype today, the level of immorality. You go to, I can't imagine anyone in my family way back in the 70s dressing the way we now dress to parties, even weddings and so on. I can't imagine, in the 70s, anybody dancing in front of a camera, throwing away the butt and everything. Or the worst one that you have now, matured women, especially the women, coming to talk complete nonsense and sexual jagbajantis, and putting it all because they want to get whatever it is on TikTok and all these things. They want to get some money. All these things have been thrown to the wind. Our politicians, when we had people way back then, people who gave their all, people who gave to the community. I remember Uncle Sumi was one who told me about that one. Yaba Post Office was designed by a Mr. Spencer. I hope Uncle Sumi is listening to me. He will be able to say that. He gave his services and designed post office for the community. People built mosques. Some people had taps. People were community-based, even the leaders. I remember, God bless him wherever he is, we had a gentleman on our street, 4 houses away from us, we used to call Councillor. Alaji Ali, we called him Councillor. Long after he was Councillor, he was still the Councillor. I remember the days of Pa Ogumbi when you had justices of the peace in a neighborhood. You had justice of the peace, And they made sure if anybody fell out of line, it was the justice of the peace. So many things. I remember the days when I was working in the civil service and people were afraid to take 5%. To give somebody, if somebody gave you a contract of 100 naira then, to give that person 5 naira or more, you almost go to his village to deposit the money. Look at what you have to do, the level of stealing. Look at our culture. Look at our kings, our obas, our igwes. Look at what is happening. No standards, nothing. You have people, they are kings, no standards. You now have kings obas who eat in public, they do all kinds of things, they dance, they do the butt dance, you know. So I just thought that, look, we are the ones who created these monsters bit by bit, aided of course by the social media. And so I'm looking forward to even look at education, look at the argument about JAM. All my years when I was in secondary school, there was no argument about WAEC. There was none. If you pass, you pass. If you fail, you failed. But like I said, you don't want to put your reputation on any of the two parties in this WAEC and that lady. So Osa, that's why I brought you here to be part of my think tank. And I'd like you to tell me now so that everybody will hear. What can you think of a breakdown of some of the things that I need to touch when we start next week?
I think to me, okay, good morning, listeners. To me, the problem of this country is so much that you don't even know where to start with.
Well, you have to start from somewhere.
I think the first thing for me,
for
us, is how can we limit the pandemic called corruption.
Okay, so you believe that we should start with corruption?
If we can reduce this thing to half,
but look at it.
Can get somewhere.
But look at it this way.
You see, let me say something. Now, you see,
yes,
it is the corruption that makes you not to embezzle the money that you should provide primary health care for the communities. It is corruption that makes you that makes our values are gone. It is because people see this money as free money. So everybody is jumping to get this free money. Everybody that is hustling to become somebody in government it's not for service. They don't have empathy. What they want is, how can I line my pockets? So when you see that, then the society gets deteriorated.
Well,
to me, it's everything around this country. I've sat down and looked at myself.
Yes.
What has changed? What has changed simply from what we got from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and even early the 80s, is the love of money. That is the number one factor. It's not as if all Nigerians love money. Yes, all of us, we need money for our daily lives, but we have now become a government unto ourselves. You provide everything that a government should do to you, as stated in Constitution, that they should take care. The primary concern of the government is the welfare of the citizen. So we have given our sovereignty to some group of people. They go there and they start having a party, having a ball, and you see poverty, you see people in suffering. So any small thing that they can see to grab something, they feel also entitled to those things. So to me, that is the number one thing. I know to eradicate it will be so well. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think let's start from 20%, 15, 13.
Okay,
like
why don't we start here? Part of the reason why corruption thrives in our country is because we all accept it.
So we should live with it.
No. So we need to sensitize ourselves to we need to sensitize ourselves to the effects of all these corrupt practices and make it intolerable for our people. In some society, in Nigeria now, if you go to jail, you will come out during Thanksgiving, and the social media will carry your party. You can do whatever you like. When I was young, if the police ever invited you to a police station at Denton, I grew up in Yaba, Denton, you are not coming back to that neighborhood. You are not likely to come. We are the ones who have made it tolerable for corrupt people to thrive.
How?
I don't know.
I
That
asked
maybe
that question.
maybe
How?
maybe there will be somebody who would probably take that as the first decision. So it's not corruption that is the major issue. It's how we became, how it became acceptable. There is nobody who will not be corrupt where it is acceptable. Why do you think there is law and order in the Western world? It's because it's intolerable. Nobody wants it. Nobody tolerates it.
That's why I keep saying that our problem is the people that the people. I will not say the people, because the majority of the people, we are not the people that the masses,
the masses too are guilty.
See,
do you know why? Sorry, 1 second. The masses are guilty because we honor them. We honor them. We honor them in religious houses. We honor them in town unions. We honor them everywhere. They come to a place, we flock around them, we take selfies with them, we dance around them, we run to them. If the society could get up one day and say, no, we will not accept, they walk into a function, all of you walk out.
Uncle Jimmy.
Yes.
You see, I used to think like that before, but as
you get closer,
older, so I tried to find out that no, it's not how I see it. Think. You see, I'm not sure you have tasted poverty.
No, I haven't.
I'm not sure my dear sister has tasted poverty. So poverty is something. You see, I see poverty. So I'm not saying I'm rich, super rich, but I have enough to take care of myself and my family, to eat and feed my loved ones. But I have seen poverty. So you see a man that is already down. Our people have, our leaders, let me put it that way, have people that we put in place of authority that should do the right thing, have pommeled these people. They have impoverished these people. So when you are looking for the next meal, you don't have a sense of reasoning. So our people are suffering. How on earth, one of the most prosperous nations in Africa is now the home of the most impoverished people in the world? These are people that do not have the basics. Like I keep telling people, which our prayer point is not to allow the government to do you. People don't understand when I keep saying that word. Because the medical facility that you enjoy, the welfare that you should enjoy, where can you get 3 million, 5 million naira for some surgical operation? Things that are common in the Western world with NHS, that thing they are putting there, they build the rich, they build everybody to put it for the less privileged to have access to those things. The people of Nigeria do not have those things. I saw a picture of a state in Ekiti when they had this picture of a primary health care. It was covered with shrubs and bushes, and that animals are there. So you see people traveling 50 miles to go to the nearest place to access primary health care, which is supposed to be available in every ward of this country. We don't have those things there. So you have just one hospital that everybody flock to. Then this is the only country in the world where the private practice is times 10 the government, the hospitals. I've never seen it anywhere in the world where the private practice, private clinics and hospitals is more. This is the only country that you have let's say three. I don't have the statistics data, but I can say on top of my head that we have 2 private schools to 1 public school. Majority of the people who are over 40 years and above, went to one government school or the other. Either you went to a religious sect secondary school, or you went to a Catholic, Anglican,
government.
All governments. Everybody went there. We came out with flying colors, and we went to university, and we benefited. These are the welfare. These are what we benefit. Now, these ones that we have now don't even have those benefits, and they are impoverished. Why? To me, it's corruption.
Okay, so I don't want us to start the summit now.
Now you're saying that one of the
I understand. I can see the irony of it being that these same people who had the opportunity to evade real poverty, went to schools and whatever like that.
They came from humble backgrounds.
Are the ones now who are tactically blocking, because another thing that has crept into our personality is it's my turn. you seem to say that, oh, because I have suffered, other people must wait for their turn. Let me grab all that I can grab. We are going to look at that. We are going to be looking at the sense of entitlement.
Yes, we have it.
Yes, we are going to be looking at moral decadence, where decency has been thrown completely to the wind, especially in our social space. And I'm sure that bothers you.
Yes, I agree.
The dressing, the talking.
It's a global phenomenon now.
It's a global phenomenon, yes. But some countries are better protected. And then, most importantly, the greatest crisis that Nigerians have now is a crisis of identity. How many people within themselves are ready to say publicly, I am a Nigerian, in all what they're saying?
I think it's just few.
Yes, it's either the ethnic part, either the ethnic one, or everybody. You now see people speaking with the South African accent. Then you ask one, is this one from Zimbabwe? They say, Nigeria.
So I like your last thoughts now.
Yes.
You see, apart from corruption, one of our greatest burden as a nation, I think I was even discussing with some friends over the weekend. One of our greatest burden as a nation is the twin hydra of religion.
Oh yes.
And our love for tribe.
Or a lack of recognition. Or let's just say identity crisis.
Identity crisis.
People don't know the politics that goes to religion. The first set of Christians came with education and so on and so forth for our people. Fair enough. The next set, the Pentecostals, the first set were flying American flags. Who is to know whether this thing was a deliberate move to turn our people's heads?
You see,
because everybody now would rather be an American.
I don't want to.
than be a Nigerian.
I don't want to name because I belong to a Pentecostal denomination, so I don't want to name names here. So there was a certain time that I told my wife one thing that when you go to this prayer, I mean, I don't want to. I just want to be sensitive here.
Yeah.
When you go to these church programs, and you see millions of Nigerians in Church A, Church B, Church C, and Church D. And you also see thousands flocking into different religious sects. Maybe the Islamic sects, you go there. And everybody keep calling the Almighty God. So I'm a firm believer of the Almighty God. So let me clear that. And I see wickedness in the heart of man. I see people, we go to those churches and we still come back, and we are worse off. So this doesn't even rob us now.
Do you know why? It's because they have now become a social identity. In discussions, when you're meeting somebody for the first time, before you talk for 15 minutes, hey, where do you worship? Where do you worship? It's become, the marketing of it has made it a glamorous thing. But when the chips are down, they run home.
Yes.
When the chips are down, what is now unfortunate that those who we now put to even guard our cultural, religious practices and whatever, they've lost their mind.
You see, religion to me should be your personal salvation.
Exactly.
It's your personal thing.
Exactly.
We have turned religion to become a state thing.
Exactly.
Sponsoring people to go to, what is your achievement? Oh, I took 1,000 people to go to Jerusalem and Rome. To do what?
Do you know that?
I took people to go to Mecca and Medina. To do what? If you want to go and serve your God, go and serve your God. Because at the end of the day, you will go and answer to your God based on this book of scriptures that you have. It is your personal conviction to God. So you see your God and give account of your deeds on earth. So it's not our concern. The concern of the government is to provide welfare for the citizens and protect the people so that the people can thrive and prosper. So when you close doors, that's why somebody wake up in the street and carry agogo and be moving around and be saying, come and give your life to Jesus Christ.
You have been you have been to Dubai, I'm sure, many times.
Yes.
Did you ever come across anybody called Alaji there?
No. I didn't even see anybody with the gold teeth.
No, I don't.
You don't even go that side. Don't even go. No, you see.
Wait. I'm coming. I'm coming. We have to take a short break, so this thing doesn't cut us off. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion, this meeting that I'm having with us, and we will gladly like you to contribute at some point, so don't go away.
Information, news, talk every day.
Oh yes, a woman can make you do a lot of things that you know. The judge cannot find you culpable for a crime when there are no rules for even the extent of the punishment.
Those women who are leaders in politics, they refuse to marry because of what they are nagging. When it comes to that position, they would rather divorce.
But Prosper, it's their right.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
The women, once they get married, they feel they've achieved everything they want in life.
For the first time in a long time, the youth are actually voicing and coming out to protest. It's a beautiful time. And so I think it is just a dress rehearsal for 2023.
Rule of law is supposed to apply whether you are old or young, rich or poor. If we see where rule of law is not being applied, we should call it out and say, this is wrong.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Be part of the system that shares.
The station where you matter.
So you're watching live on Facebook and on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3 Lagos. Thank you for always tuning. We appreciate your time.
It's 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
Get lucky, get rich. Hey, get lucky.
Organidu, how you dey now?
Call me Agent Lucky.
Which one be Agent Lucky again? You don't dey do property business.
Now luckybet.ng I register with you. I don't become Agent Lucky.
My brother,
No be small cash out. I can make up to 1 million naira monthly. Luckybet they pay sharp sharp. Luckybet will give you up to 50% in commission and bonuses. Weekly and monthly bonus on turnover. Luckybet goes summer you with a 250% multiplier bonus for online games. To become agent with Luckybet, make you get shop and order necessary items. Enter their website www.luckybet.ng or call 01-252-6666 or WhatsApp 0906-298-0100 for more information.
you don't hear? You too fit get lucky, get rich.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest Jollof festival ever. Let's welcome the Smoky Jollof Lovers, the Suya Jollof Lovers, and the Seafood Jollof Lovers.
Whatever kind of jollof you love, come rep it at the North Jollof Fest. Date is July 23rd, 2023 at Muriokola Park. Time is 12 p.m. Attendance is free. Visit NordJolloffFest.com to register.
North Jollof Festival.
Every morning is an opportunity to take your hustle to the next level. So, start every day with a great tasting cup of Nescafe 3-in-1. Just add water and enjoy the blend of coffee, creamer, and sugar with that rich, creamy taste you love. To help you start strong and make every morning count. Start strong, finish strong. Nescafe.
Your Nutrilicious Bama is now available in sachet.
How far? Every time you fantasize about traveling, the ticket fare slaps you back into reality, Abby. I have a solution. You can pay small. Let's say you want to travel to Johannesburg. You go to onboard.com. You search the ticket fare and it's 450k. You can lock down the ticket with as little as 10% and pay 2 to 5 times depending on your date of travel. Is it not better to pay that 450k like 3 times? It is. This applies to local and international flights. Quickly book your tickets. www.onboard.com, onboard.com, and use Pay Small.
Hi there, my name is Mercy Johnson Okoji.
My name is Joke Silva.
Hi there, I am Aproko Doctor.
My name is Chef Winnie, aka Delicious Food.
It's your boy Cruz with Joe. I love cooking.
And my choice of cooking oil.
And my choice of cooking oil is Power Oil.
My choice is Power Oil.
Use Power Oil. It's triple filtered. It contains omega-6 and 9, and it's fortified with vitamin A. Plus, it comes in different packs and sizes, so you can afford it without breaking the bank.
The only detergent that keeps me bright and fresh. I know the waste time to wash. I thought my clothes have the best, so why go less? You can't wash a lot with a little Viva. Use Viva. Don't waste your time, don't waste
must be made. My people just to work hard. Dreams and challenges motivate us. But sometimes, when the journey gets tiring, all we need is something to push our limits.
Reactor, ignite your energy, bring out your inner champion. Reactor, reactor, ignite your energy, bring out your inner champion. Reactor.
Reactor Energy Drink. What you need to push your limits.
Wahala, reactor energy drink. Push your limits, no dey tire. No way, reactor energy drink. Reactor.
Push your limits.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is Daily Digest with Jimi Disu.
So, yeah, welcome back to the Daily Digest and this meeting that I'm having with OSA, with you also, for the agenda we are going to set for next week, Tuesday to Friday, the monsters we've created and how we can tackle them. I'm going to try as much as possible to bring in some, it will be a bit of a mix, elderly, because if you don't have a connect with the past, you won't appreciate the monsters that have surfaced on the face of this country. The future looks really bleak. I'm not one of those who I'm not an optimist. I'm a realist. You don't read, you cannot sit for an exam and pass. I'm not one of those who will put his phone. You see, part of what is being done, a pastor said people should put up their phones and they will get alert. I'm not structured. I'm not structured that way. Just like we were talking about religion. Religion has done a lot of damage to us. It has removed that thinking process, that zeal. You find more people. Okay, so you lose your job. You now say, I want to go to the church. You sit in church. You read your Bible from morning till night. It's not going to get you another job. And they keep talking about miracles. Where are the good old reverends of old with their 403 and 404? Modest people. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is part of where we missed it. I don't believe a man who is deeply religious will have the time or the presence of mind for all the fancy things that we see with some of our pastors. I don't believe so. And indeed, rather than set an example in humility, and humility, patience, and contentment, rather they keep urging you on. They keep urging you on to wait for a miracle, to wait for this and to wait for that. We will examine it. We will try. We're still trying to put. We'll look at education that has been put into the back burner, and that is part of where our problem lies. Also, education. That's where the problem lies. You now have people. You have people with degrees who are directors in ministries. They can't think straight. They put something down. You try so hard to decipher what is being said. You can't.
Quota system.
Yes, you have quota system. You have people compromise. Look at JAMB. You have compromise exams. Yes, your mic is off. Put on your mic. Put on his mic. Yes, go.
Let me give you a small story. So, I wanted to get a driver's license in the UK. So you you have the highway code.
Study it.
You study it. So guy man, me, thought that this time I can just browse it. It's not legal driving like that. I know the sign. I just went there after 2 days of looking at the code. I said, let me go and write the exam. So I failed. So I was supposed to get 43 objective questions for the theory test. And it's called the hazard perception test, where your screen, you show you different hazard incident that can happen in the road. So you have to identify them quickly and get 5 points. So I think I passed that one. So, and you have 3, so you can't come back again and write it again. So you have to give like 3 working days before you apply again for another test again. So I went back again after 3 days and I said, okay, I want to do it again. So I gave myself 1 week of study. So I got the app every day. I was giving myself 3 hours studying the app, looking at the questions and everything and answering. So I went there and I passed the theory test with flying colors. And I failed the hazard I passed with flying colors before. So why I'm saying this thing is this. In the developed world, there are certain things that must happen for you to benefit anything. You cannot be a driver without passing that test. So you cannot even drive a car. Now, why I'm saying this, why I'm bringing this home now, when I bring this back home now, you find out that paddy, brothers and sisters and relatives are the ones we put in our civil service, for example. Our civil service should be the best. I was telling some people, the days of Pa Adebo and Co., these are excellent men. We had the best, Philip Asiodu and Co. We had the best that came out from UI. You know, they came out with first class, came out with top grades.
And they went to UI?
Yes, they went to UI. They came back with top grade and they were in our civil service. Civil service was a plus. The former Oba, the late Oba of Benin, Oba Rejawa, he went to UI.
Was a former PAMSEC.
Was a former PAMSEC. He rose to PAMSEC. Those guys earned that. They didn't earn it because of their father. Majority of them, anyway, they came from humble background, from villages across Nigeria. They became Pa Ayoku, Emeka Ayoku and his wife, all of them, when they met in UI. So we had the best of us in civil service. Like you have in Whitehall, where you have the best of the British people in civil service. We don't have those things. What we have is people bringing people from the villages, people that just go to state universities, just go cost some resort and bring it back, and you put them there because of quota system. So we don't bring our best. Okay, let's say we have a federal character. The best of the persons from Kanu are not given that position because they come from humble background. You give people who don't want to come. I have stories of people telling me of different federal agencies that people don't even come to work.
Oh, yes.
They don't even come to work because their father give them allocation. They don't even come to work.
Yes.
They collect salaries. They run family business, but they're in one paracetamol or the other. I hear stories of that. So you can imagine what is going on. So that's why I said everything now goes back to that singular one word, corruption. Because that is it. Because if not for corruption, how can someone that is not qualified to be there?
Well, what we are actually doing is running a Robin Hood system.
I agree.
Where you encourage your person to go and bring back the spoils.
Yes.
Even here, whilst we are giving 1 or 2 politicians a lot of credit for what they are doing, if you go to the bottom of it all, these people are not in the executive. How do they get these things done? Something that was done in Sulere, for example. The budget was traced to it. It was supposed to that money was supposed to have been used for some other project in the east.
Yes.
You remember?
That's one. It was.
So,
nobody came to say this was a rumor. Nobody came with the fact. What they do is that they part money in different projects for different. You see, let me tell you, one of the biggest scam in our federal budget. Go and check it. Is the provision of solar power panel across different communities. You see it in that. You see it in that budget. Scattered all over. Those guys don't even have the solar power panel. They put the money in that place. Like there was one, the same person you're talking about, had one for something in Basita. You see, it's in Kwara State.
Yes.
The money ended up in Isulere.
And so everybody now says
everybody started clapping for him. Oh, you are doing wonderful. You are doing best. No, this money was supposed to be for a community somewhere.
You know, also this thing we had, when I grew up, my teachers would tell me, look me in the eye. They imbued honesty in you. I can never, even if I benefit from something, if it's dishonest, I will reject it. That's the way I'm wired. And for you would have thought that with the way people go to church and mosque, they'll be wired that way. But no. No.
People steal from church itself.
They steal from where don't they steal from?
They steal. Everybody steals.
You know, and people have lost a complete sense of reasoning. Back in the day, when I hear history, you know that where you actually come from is not in the front burner. A lot of Igbo people won elections in Lagos.
Yes.
Because they're part of the community. Where did all this ethnic divide now come from? Where it has now become completely intolerable. You know, and we all suck into it. This monster of ethnicity is another monster that we have to tackle. We have so many things that will. I doubt if that 1 week will be enough, but we can't do these things forever.
Because the
So
truth
we
about
will
the majority of Nigerians are bigoted, and the one that pain my heart is, it's the people like me, who I feel they are like, let's say put it like a global citizen, who have gone around the world.
That's the worst thing that can happen to you.
You understand me now? And still come back and still be talking about ethnicity, talking about those touchy words.
Not just that, Osa. One thing that also bothers me is that these people are quote and unquote, they are well traveled. All the illegal money they make, they ship it abroad to want to have a good life. You don't want to provide a good life back home. That is why I will always forever respect Yakubu Gowon. He's the only leader I can point to that I can say is a Nigerian. He had Nigeria at heart. Whilst the war was going on, there was development all over. Yakubu Gowon. Since then, we have not had a leader like that, and it's a pity.
What will happen?
By the time he finished with all the oil money, war and everything, he didn't have a house. He didn't have a house. You know, but he was well respected all over the world.
What about Baba Jakonde in Lokweju?
Look at Jakonde now. He drove his Toyota car. Even we, some of us in the universities then were very angry. Baba has another. He has enough money to buy.
Pa Jasinko.
Pa Jasin, same thing.
What's it?
I remember when
Uncle Bola.
Yes.
The real Uncle Bola.
The real uncle. I see what you mean.
The one and only Uncle Bola.
No, let's say the late Uncle Bola.
The late Uncle Bola. You can see the life they live. Even Bisi Onabanjo, these guys left. They lived a life of contentment.
When Komiademi Louis and I visited Ajasin way back then, we went to interview him. He was editor of the Financial Punch. I was his deputy, 82, 83. He was in his personal house. The house was simple. You know, simple, devoid of any...
He was a governor then, no?
He was a governor, yes, now. Was devoid of any excessive luxury or anything. But what do you have now?
We have people that
Look at when Obasanjo, back in the day, started this low profile. He dropped his Mercedes-Benz of those days and started 504 as official car. It didn't stop him from being president. Nobody seen him. We are watching this set of people. Maybe that's where we'll start from. Our people will not suffer while some people are enjoying themselves. It's not, we shouldn't allow it. We shouldn't even contemplate it. So we must start insisting now in our various interactions with our leaders to say to them, we will not allow even frivolous travel.
Unnecessary travels.
Unnecessary travel.
Majority of the governors are permanently in Abuja.
Who was the
permanently in Abuja, flying private jets, with the chartered, waiting for them in the airport. They move around. Okay, last 2 months. I mean, when I was in the UK, so I was walking towards somewhere in my neighborhood, and I saw one big building, and guess what? Primary health care center. I just looked at the place, I started shaking my head. And we don't have this in our communities. Nigeria is one of the countries in the world that lack drinkable water for our people. These are basics. These are basic things.
But I remember, one of the things I remember drinking water is using a fountain. You know, the water would pressure. And in those days, we didn't have pumping machines.
Thank you very much. Look at how technology has moved on and moved on.
We didn't have pumping machines.
Have water, portable drinking water. We have this Nigeria is one of the least countries in the world that don't have water.
0700 993 993 993 01465 7190. We're trying to draw up an agenda for next week when we'll be talking about the monsters we created, you know, that have become a big problem to us. Yes, we might be wasting our time. Some people are very skeptical. They say keep making noise and wasting your time. But it will be on record that somebody said something. If that is all we are going to get, someday somebody will say, oh, somebody said this or somebody said that. So we'll open up our lines now. I'll take the first caller, Feta. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes.
Uncle Jimmy, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, you have Mr. Amba online.
Yes, sir.
Honorable guest, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
May God bless your soul.
Amen.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you, my brother. When a family is bad, you will hold father and mother responsible, not the children. When a country is good, from the people, the leaders who are elected, who are the people controlling the affairs of the country, not the masses. My brother, I grew up early 90s. There is this law I met. My mother is a very good businesswoman. Every last Saturday of the month, she normally go out by 5 o'clock. Why? Because of the last Saturday of the sanitation. Why? Government put it. People do it. Right? When government sit up in a country, people will become fear of the law and follow it. But where you have the government who are not human beings, who they behave the way they like, they put law that suit them, what do you think that country will be?
Okay.
May God bless you as you made this point.
Amen,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. Let's take another call. Hello, good morning. Hello. Oh, sir, do you know that there was a Saudi king in history who came for treatment at UCH Ibadan?
Yes, we said this.
Yeah. That's how good those, and we just lost them.
Hello?
Yes, hello, Pastor
Good
Ladipo.
morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is Pastor Ladipa, calling from Orilegom. You know, God will bless this your guest. He has made a very
what about me?
God will bless you too.
I should have
Uncle
added
Jimmy.
my name now. What kind of this thing is this?
Uncle Jimmy, I'm sorry. God bless you too.
Okay, cool.
Because, you see, Uncle Jimmy, this thing you are
Yes.
trying to bring out now,
Yes.
I think, let me tell you the positive impact of it. You might not know. This thing now will make some people in authority. Uncle Jimmy, take it from me. This thing will make some people in authority to have a rethink. I will tell you, Uncle Jimmy, for free. While we were in primary school in those days, we will just arrange our plates, our lunch plates. We will arrange it in those Jaconde building on top of the wall. The food sellers will just come and pick it. And before you know, during break is returned. Everybody carry their food and eat. In those days, we enjoyed the luxury of idiodo. When you drink, we don't even have fear that there will be typhoid or malaria. The water everywhere. Suddenly, these things disappeared because the Fourth Republic politicians came and the narrative changed. It turns to the fact that I must be the only shining light. And the more people are impoverished, the more people's character continues to change. So the effect is what we are seeing in our society today. Uncle Jimmy, it's so painful.
Yeah.
It's across everywhere, including religious organizations.
Yes.
So, for me, this thing you want to embark on, Uncle Jimmy, watch out. You will see positive effect of it. I can put my life on it. You will see positive effects.
Thank you.
Because some people will have a rethink.
Thank you. Pastor Ladipo didn't tell us the part of Idiodo that was the best place as a teenager to go and wheelie. we must add the fun part to it. But he's made a very valid point. I think that we had a social revolution at one point in Nigeria. I would say the boys' quarters boys kicked the people out of the main house and they stayed there. And you can see it, even in our culture, in the traditional sector, look at what we have. I don't know, you are from Benin, yours is still intact. Yoruba land is a mess. It's a mess.
It's to the highest bidder.
So apart from to the highest, I don't even mind if the highest bidder would at the minimum comport himself. But look at what we have with our traditional rulers, some of them. Not all, some of them. Look at the development. Look at those who get chieftaincy titles and so on and so forth. Are they a true reflection of those who we should look up to? We have just lost it. In fact, I think my frustration actually came from there, from the cultural side. From my own side, I don't know what it's like in the East. I don't know what it's like in the North. The one that I know from my own side, culturally, we are in a terrible mess. We have lost all our values. You see our women in TikTok. Women who should be women of substance, not necessarily money. Women who should be, saying things that you normally wouldn't even say as a man. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know who is going to bail this cat, but like I said, I'm going to try and put the panel together, maybe 3 a day. We will do the best that we can. We will scratch the surface and hope that others would pick it up from there. It's 9:50 virtually, which means I must be getting ready to go, but I can take one more call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Uncle Jimmy. Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Uncle Jimmy.
I can hear you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
My name is Joshua. I'm calling you from Malta.
This is a bad line. We can't just pick another one. I'm so sorry, sir, but you are not audible at all. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, morning.
Hello.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Sir.
Yeah, the Radio Lagos used to say that we are the mirror through which our children look at life.
Yes.
When we were growing up, we see our leaders.
Yes.
Like last election, the reason why youth like us came out. We saw somebody who wants to start in a new select who said, if I thief, if my wife thief, if my children thief, then kill us. If we not thief, no person will thief with us. So we wanted to see a country that will start in a new select. Then at the end of the day, come to and say you don't know how about Anambra and the East today. Come there. All the essays and traditional rulers are cocaine pushers who make their money.
You have crossed the line. And I apologize for that. You have crossed the line.
From the community.
No. And I apologize on your behalf. You don't come to radio and say things like that. I do apologize to...
it's a long time I had that word.
What's that now?
It's a very long time I had that word.
Cocaine pusher. Yes, no. Let's try and exhibit a bit of manners and etiquette. That's part of what we're going to be talking about. Etiquette in public speaking, etiquette in our interactions. How do you address women? How do women address men? Etiquette. We can't lose all these values. If we lose it, culturally, but with the completeness and the people that don't hold on to the culture are likely to lose it all. It's very, very likely. Look at what the Indians have done. Now they rule the world by principally holding on to their culture and their values and their identity. And Indian is any better. In Nigeria, I'm not born in the UK. You ask where you are from, they say they are from Barbados.
I'm from the UK.
Osa, let's go. I'd like to thank you very much, Osa. One more time, I'd like to wish my buddy, my good friend, Daddy. I tried calling him. I wanted to see, let's talk to this papa at 70 for about 5 minutes. He refused to wake up. I'm sure he's still sleeping for me. Okay, Feta, thank you very much. I know you'll be here tomorrow in time because it will be Diabumi for tomorrow. But the upper week, next week, there'll be no Diabumi.
I think I need to come one of these days to discuss Diabumi.
No, don't come for Diabumi. The stallion is coming tomorrow.
So one of these days,
there will be an explosion in this studio.
One of these days, I need to come to discuss Diabumi.
It'll be nice. Come. We'd like to have you.
Discuss from all this wahala.
Yeah, that's why my best days are Wednesdays. I feel on top of the world. I have the stallion coming tomorrow. That tough woman. Anytime from now also we'll have Mrs. Fashano, who is the grand matron on behalf of the women.
Okay.
Mrs. Fashano is the one who said, she's the madam who said, if you want a man to go through the door, tell him to go through the door. I'll see you tomorrow.
When are you going to die your friend? You're talking.
I'm traumatized that they accused me of forging my own results. Because I'm not capable of this, forging results.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to
Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired get fired. It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not.